What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Faraday Future, ticker is FFIE. I want to give you a good breakdown of potentially where things might be going and some big things to really watch for next week. So I'm going to go over all the stuff you need to know. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So when it comes down to Faraday, unfortunately, there is a lot more negative sentiment revolving around it. And unfortunately, as I've been able to kind of mention in one of my videos, it most likely will be bouncing off of that 50-day moving average, which is currently around 52 cents. I do see that happening before the actual big event, which of course is going to be their shareholder meeting. So on February the 28th, in case you guys don't know, Faraday Future Intelligent Electric Inc. Extraordinary Shareholder Meeting at 11 Central Time. So hopefully from that, there's going to be a lot of good things that does come out. I'm going to be live streaming that as well. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe just for that point alone. But I want to go over some points while I'm still on Interactive Brokers. So I'm going to cycle back and do some more technical analysis and so forth. But right here, job hiring. So Faraday Future to host job fair on March the 2nd. So in reality, I see that as a very, very good positive. Typically, no company ever hires unless they are going to really start to ramp up. And based on the articles that have been coming out as well, it does appear as though they're starting production very, very soon. So in reality, though, the only thing that current investors need to really digest is the fact that typically hiring is very, very costly. One of the more costly expenses out there. So just be aware of that. Even though this is a good thing, it sometimes is a double-edged sword. So just be aware of that. And when it comes down to, for instance, this right here, they have been having a little bit lower volume. So right now, 21 million, the average is 51. And generally speaking, it's actually been below that. So the average volume has just been going down. And you can tell that also based on this. So this is a little bit more of a different viewpoint on the technicals. And just number of retail investors have been getting out ever since January the 24th, give or take. So in reality, just people are very doubtful of Faraday's future. Of course, it's been having a lot of articles coming out saying bankruptcy, things like that. But they did get that note, so that hopefully should give them at least a little bit more hope in reality, at least in the short term. And as far as stochastic, it is currently at 5, so very, very oversold. And despite that, I know it has gone down quite a lot. It is holding up fairly well. Typically, a lot of other growth stocks aren't above the 50-day moving average. So in general, that might be something to really factor into everything. And when it comes to, for instance, Faraday, shorts play a big part. So I'll give you a quick update on that and what they're doing today. So short score is currently 75, utilization still at 100%, and total value of all shorts, I just wanted to show you this, almost about $60 million worth of shorts are out there right now. So very, very high. Shorts are, in fact, though, surprisingly enough, returning 916,000 shares today. So, of course, that could be seen as a fairly positive thing. Right now as well, 21.17% is a short interest, which is a percentage of the free float. And of course, that is very high. And depending on what does come out, could result in a squeeze, but still, I think at the end of the day, you do need 4 different components for a squeeze to occur. You need a high utilization, which of course Faraday does have. You need a lot of shares being shorted, which check does have as well. Cost to borrow, you need it to be high. So that's something that it is a little bit more missing on. And then fourth, you do need a surprise catalyst, which of course Faraday could come out with, but I think at the end of the day, a lot of people and everything that is out is very much already known. So who knows? They might be working on something as well behind the scenes that could be a surprise. But at the end of the day, I don't necessarily see a squeeze happening with Faraday. So once again, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But like I said, based on the technical, so I kind of touched on some of these indicators, but where to watch for. That 53 cent mark, most likely I do anticipate it to bounce off of that. I know that does suck, but it's almost there for the most part. I do see it bouncing off of that right before the actual shareholder meeting, which again is on the 28th. But I see it bouncing off of that and then hopefully trending up from there. It's going to have a lot of resistance above it. So what I mean by that is something has to really good come out from Faraday in the short term, or else it's just going to continue to bleed because it does have a fairly high retail presence. And unfortunately, when there is a high retail presence in that, it typically, you need a lot of good momentum behind it. And without that, you usually just dwindle off and kind of fade off into sunset, if you want to call it that. But I think in general, though, Faraday does have a pretty good opportunity right now ahead of them, but they really need to capitalize on where they currently are. If not, then most likely the whole term of bankruptcy will start to be brought back up once again. So let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. Give yourself a shout out if you do believe in Faraday and where you potentially see things going, at least in the short term, and if you've been buying, where you see things going. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. If you do like my Faraday content and want to support the channel, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. One final thing I just wanted to let you guys know, even though Faraday is going down, you can kind of get some free money. Take advantage of this promo with Moomoo. All you have to do, open up an account, free to do that, and you get one free stock. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. This is only available until February the 28th, so kind of a no-brainer. And if you do throw $100 at the account as well, gets you 4 additional free stocks. So like I said, it is a very good win-win. Let me know your thoughts on all that in the comments below. And with all of that said though, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Faraday.